All right. Welcome to Danger Recall Part 15. I'm Matthew McConaughey. With me, I have my guest today, Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
And Matthew McConaughey.
5:15, you gotta boost up those numbers. Those are rookie numbers.
Yeah.
I love playing the bongos. That's what you gotta do. You gotta play bongos.
My daddy's got a can in one hand, got a leg in the other, barbecuing. So there you go. Matthew McConaughey. This is the episode. I don't know why we did that, but we did it. I am your host, Colin Hubbard. This is Danger Recall Part 15. We're going to talk about episode 17. We might talk about episode 18. Who knows? Am I peaking a little bit, Dan?
Nah, you sounded all right to me.
All right. Just making sure my sound sounds all right. With me, I've got Dan.
Hello, everybody. How's it going?
And we've got Ross.
Hello.
This is the old news show. We're going to talk about our show because why not? We love our show. We hope you love our show. I mean, if you do, that's why you're subscribed to the Patreon. That's why you can hear these episodes. We hope you're enjoying this Danger Recall. I know I'm enjoying making them. I love making them. I don't know about you. What do you think, boys?
Oh, they've been so much fun, hasn't it? I love little moments like this, like we just had, where we kind of. There's this moment where we're like, are we going to do this entire episode as Matthew McConaughey? And we all kind of looked at the Zoom at each other and we're like, no, back out of it. It's almost too late to stop.
Yeah. Maybe there'll be one that we'll do. There'll be a really boring episode, a bottleneck episode where nothing happens. And we'll just do it as a character. We'll just,
But we're racing towards the end of the first series of Danger Club. If you think of them as seasons, of the first adventure, we're nearly at the end of Murder's Mark now. I can't believe how quickly we've torn through all of this.
I know, it's great, isn't it? I mean, I love the first episodes as well. It's so, I don't know, we're all finding our characters, we're all finding how we work together, we're just finding everything about...
As a podcast as well, in general, we're just finding what works.
I mean, at this stage, we've probably got about 10 listeners as well, so...
It's not a lot. It's
nice
to go back and listen to this kind of first... set up one when we're finding our feet before we've got the mixer, before we've got the sort of the permanent home or regular recording venue, when we're jumping around a lot. And because because we're perfectionists, I look back on this first series, or I have always looked back on this first series as being a bit of I don't really like that one, or it's like we didn't know what we were doing, or it's not quite there. And when people ask where should we join the show, I'm always like, I'll join during the Caremarga stuff, because that's when it gets really, really good. But it's been nice to go back and listen to these ones now and been like, this is actually really fun. These are really good episodes. I'm really proud that we did them. And I'd be really, now I would say to anyone, start at episode 1. If you're getting somebody new involved in the show, they're still going to enjoy this stuff. There's still good stuff in here.
I was always really worried about the sound in the early episodes, but actually it's so much better than a lot of podcasts. And I mean, big podcasts, huge. I'm not having a go at anyone at all because, we all have sound issues. Right now, I can hear there's a thing coming from somewhere. I don't know what it is, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. And as I say, some really big podcasts that I love and listen to, they're still recording during the lockdowns and everything that's going on in the world. And you're really hearing it. You're hearing the fact that they're just using the Zoom audio, or they're just using the equipment that they've got, or that you can hear their families in the background and stuff. And it's absolutely fine. It really doesn't matter. And the sound, I think, on those episodes, I'm really proud of it, actually, the work that we did on it and the kind of tweaking that we all did to make ourselves heard. Yeah, I absolutely think that people should run back to episode 1 and give it a good old listen when people ask about it. Yeah, definitely. And it's funny
Sorry.
Funny you mentioned the mixer, because this is the first episode that we have a mixer.
That was such an exciting day.
It was an exciting day.
Me and Ross went to just a music show. I spent ages just Googling advice and
we all did
stuff and we were and then just price once we decided on it, because we kind of all decided on the mixer we wanted. Based on sort of Colin's specifications, and then I remember I spent a day just calling every music and every kind of music shop we could find in London, to find one that had it at a price we could all afford. Finally got it, because we didn't just get it online or anything. We got it from a store, I think we went to a store to get advice, didn't we? I remember me and Ross we went to a proper music shop in Soho or somewhere, and we're like testing out mixers and microphones and stuff. It was like proper nerd day. I loved it.
It was an adventure, wasn't it? Really, like, because we were like, okay, what about USB mics? Should we get some USB mics? But then we realized we couldn't have more than like, I think we bought a USB external thing, a multi thing, but it wasn't enough to power the mics that we had. The two Yeti mics that we had. So then we were like, okay, well, maybe we can get a power supply thing for that USB external thing. And then it just didn't work. So we were like, okay, we can't use the USB mic. So we have to go for XLR, which for people that don't know about mics, is just a different connection. So, yeah. So it was a bit of an adventure in terms of like trying to find what we will use and what is good.
Yeah, we talked about this in a previous Danger Recall episode that when we recorded at the Secret Weapon, by this point we had 4 microphones and they were all USBs, and I'd been doing so much research, and I think I'm the only person. I've never found anyone else to do it. Maybe people have, obviously, and I'm sure they have, but on YouTube and stuff, people only ever use 2 USBs at the same time in one computer, and there's a way to do it on the Mac. I don't know how to use it on PC, but I'm sure there's a way. But you create like an aggregate sound input, and you can plug 2 USB mics. So if there's 2 people in your podcast and you both want to use a mic, you can do that. I got it up to 3, then I got up to 4, and I had this genius idea that if we have a powered USB hub that would be able to plug in more microphones, and everyone could have their own USB microphone, but you can't do that because the system can only take so much information. And I think 4 USB microphones was the limit that we got to. Now, at this stage, we are using a mixer, but we are still using some USB mics as well, because we didn't have a whole bunch of mics that we could plug in. I had like 3. Dan, you had 1. But we were determined to use the 2 Yetis as well. So what we did is we had a cable, just a jack-to-jack cable, 3.5 millimeter, and then we changed it. We had like a plug that we put on the end of that and put it into the input on the mixer. So instead of the XLR input, we had I think it's a 5 millimeter jack, and we put that into the input there. Now, it's a good idea. But you can hear Ross's microphone, you can hear James's. There's a little bit of crackle, and I really had to work on the sound for this. So we're not 100% USB yet. Off USB yet, sorry. Yeah. Still really good sound with what we're working with. But yes, we are still experimenting as much as we can. So there you go. If you have any sound questions, DM Colin. Sorry, Dan, go on.
I was so excited about this because I'd wanted a mixer from day one. I was kind of like, because in my head, like from day one, I'm like, we're going to be a radio show. That's what we're aiming for production wise. That's what we're going to put into it. It's going to sound like it's recorded in a studio, and so we need this. And obviously, we couldn't get a mixer from day one because it's a huge expense for something when you don't know if it's going to take off or not, and you don't know if you're going to make more than 10 episodes. And at this point, we finally were like, okay, let's invest. Let's get this. And so it's like this is the first time the show's starting to sound in my head like I'd sort of imagined it. Because I always say you should if you're going to make a podcast, make the podcast that you want to make and decide early on what kind of show you want to make. And if it's a social thing, if it's a simple thing you want to do with a couple of friends, then do not buy expensive equipment because there's no point. Like you can record something passable using one Yeti around a table, not even a Yeti. You can make the show. There are really good podcasts that have much lower kit. And that's just what they want to do. But if you want to make the super high-end audio show, then you've got to get the kit for it, and don't be afraid of that. And we have never looked back. I think from getting the mixer, it's just been like, this is. I don't know how much easier is it did it become to edit once we had sort of control over every channel, Colin?
I mean, I was already editing with like 4 tracks anyway. But yeah, upping into 6 was a lot easier because then you can you just have a lot more control when it comes to editing. Sorry, Ross, were you going to say something?
No, I was just going to say, I was going to move. Well, I was just going to ask where we were recording in this episode. I think are we now in a different studio?
Now, I believe we're at James's house.
We are, because I have the receipt for the Uber ride to take all of the kit there, like in our accounts. So
Yeah.
Nice. But the mixer wasn't like ridiculously expensive. It wasn't like 500 quid, but like it's still but then like Dan says, you got to think of it as an investment and split, and it makes it a lot easier having 6 of us, because you split it 6 ways, and then it ends up not being as expensive as you think.
So it's 25 quid. No, that's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember actually what you did, Dan and Ross. You went into the shop and you said, "Oh yeah, we want to buy this mixer," and they gave you loads of advice about it, and then they were like, "Oh, you know, you can get this cheaper like online."
Yeah.
And you were like, "Oh really?" And they were just like, "Yeah, just go to like Feel Me Music or something and get it on there."
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a great. That's why I love like a proper independent shop, because the guy's like, "Don't buy it from us. Here's where I would buy it."
Yeah. So that guy is responsible for the Danger Club podcast, basically.
Yeah. So thank you, that guy. Right, we need to get into this. We're 10 minutes in. Look at this.
Yeah,
we're 11 minutes
go.
in. What are we talking about? This intro.
Let's do it.
This intro was one of the first we had an idea for. We wanted to do the Pulp Fiction intro, which was sick. And we sort of we did this whole thing where Caragor and Shania were pretending that they were in a car doing the Pulp Fiction thing about burgers. And we put a bit of funk music that we found behind it. I found a little bit of funk music and stuck it behind that. I loved that. That was great.
I can't remember if it was Colin or Drum's idea. I think it might have been Colin or Scott or Drum's idea to do that intro. I think
I
it was
can't remember.
Scott was opposed it to Drum.
Loved it though. The French fries in Absalom and Yak's Milk, and that was also good. We did.
I miss when we had time to like script intros. Like we'll do kind of every now and then we'll be like, that was really funny, do that again, we're going to record it, and that's an intro. Or we'll just all record ones at home that are just kind of check-ins with the Danger Links. More on that in a minute. And or just like advertising Patreon or something like that. But when we like back in these days, we'd be like, right, let's plan an intro, and we'd do a script for it, and like not quite like word for word, but we'd properly plot it out and like come up with original sound and stuff for it. I love those ones.
We also sing Danger Club, which is a reference to a song called Ebenezer Good, which is by The Shaman, a band called The Shaman in 1992. A lot of stuff about 1992 coming up, actually. Ease are good, and that's what they sing. They don't sing Danger Club, obviously. But it's from an album called Boss Drum, went to number 1 in the UK, and was a very controversial song as it referred to ecstasy. Ease are Good is a character. Ebenezer Good, they kind of made this character for the video and the song, but they chant the word Ease are Good. So if you think of the tablet ecstasy, a common abbreviation for that, ease, and in this country, and they shouted out Ease are Good. So they're saying basically ecstasy is good. It was banned from the BBC. It's also got references to other things like Anyone Got Any Veras? Do you know what Veras are? Anyone?
I do not know. I'm not down with the kids.
That's fine. Don't worry about it. Veras. We'll get into that later. It doesn't matter. Anyone got any salmon? Anyone got any salmon? Know what salmon is?
What's going on here? Are you like coming up with with anyone got any salmon? Anyone got any cod?
No. So in the song, he goes, "Anyone got any Veras? Lovely," like that. And then he goes, "Anyone got any salmon? Sorted."
I feel like we're on
Where's
Brass
salmon?
Eye.
So Veras is a reference to Rizla papers. So it's a paper that you can roll a cigarette with. And then Anyone Got Any Salmon is a reference. It's salmon and trout. It's actually rhyming slang. Salmon and trout for snout, which is another reference to a cigarette.
So for our overseas listeners, what's rhyming slang?
Rhyming slang actually goes around the world, actually. You can find it in places like Australia and America. It is generally considered to be Cockney rhyming slang, which is something that the East Londoners would use. But it has actually it did actually spread across the world. So bit of a common misconception. It's just the Londoners.
Oh.
Yes,
I now
there
really
you
want
go.
to launch a poetry night called Rhyming Slam.
yeah, that'd be great.
An example of Cockney rhyming slang would be up the apples and pears.
There you go.
And it meant stairs. I don't know why they just didn't say stairs, because it's a lot quicker to say stairs than apples and pears.
Well, the idea is that you wouldn't use the pears. You would say, I'm going to go up the apples. Yeah, so you'd only use the first bit of the rhyming slang. The idea was back in the day that if you were talking to a policeman and you wanted to hide your criminal activity, you could use rhyming slang so they wouldn't understand what you were saying.
I see.
So all the words that you would say would be rhyming slang. Yeah, and they wouldn't understand it. But it quickly became, common, and everyone knew what was going on. So it doesn't work anymore. Don't try and talk your way out of a police officer using rhyming slang, because they all know what it is now. So
I'll raise a salmon to that.
yeah. The sample of a great philosopher once wrote, which is at the beginning of that song, is by Malcolm McDowell from the Lindsay Anderson film from 1973, Oh Lucky Man. Didn't know that until I read that. All right, we talk about Dangerlings.
Yes, first mention.
Yeah, first mention. Ross, do you want to talk about this?
Yeah, so we, the guys, we discussed this. We were like, what could we call our fans? And we literally did a brainstorm on our little Slack. There was a few. I wish I had them on here. It would be good if we had the examples of what we were going to call you guys. So yeah, we decided on Dangerlings. I think it was Drum that maybe suggested
Drum thought of that,
It's a Twitter poll.
So it was a Twitter poll. We originally came up with some ideas of what we could call. Let me see whilst we're talking if I can find them.
8 out of our 10 listeners voted.
Yeah.
Like that, wasn't it?
So you lot listening now, sorry, you didn't get a chance. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Did anyone have a
missed it.
favourite that wasn't Dangerlings? Was anyone leaning towards anything else? Because I know I wanted to call everyone the club, which seemed cool at the time, but actually would have been a massive pain, because it's what we've come to start referring to the Danger Club in-game as. And it makes writing episode summaries so much easier. So that would have been a real pain to start listening
right.
calling them as that.
I don't know, I can't remember. I know we mentioned some of them in the episode, and Ross, you mentioned about 4 of them. I can't remember. I didn't write them down, but you mentioned about 4 of them, and everyone's like, look, Ross, we've chosen one now. And then Dan says, oh, we got a mixer, everybody. And everyone shouts, because everyone's still not wearing headphones. It's only still me, right? Everyone still shouts and blows my fucking ears off. We've also got a dice tray from Scott McAuliffe, so thank you very much for that again. We're not going to go into the dice tray too much, but check out Scott McAuliffe's things. We have some fan art as well from Francesca. Beautiful fan art. Lovely picture of Shania, I believe, and she did most of the club.
Is that our first fan art?
That was our first fan art, I think, yeah. What have you got, Scott? Ross? Sorry, mate.
I found all the suggestions that we had.
What did you have?
Drum has so many in this text chat. Danger Mins, Danger Mites, Danger Heads, Clubheads, Danger Clubbers, Dangerlings. So, and then James was like, oh, I quite like Dangerlings. Then Drummond goes, Dangerinos, Danger Lovers, Danger Rangers, Ding Dang Doodles, Desperate Dangers. And there's a few Danger Poppers, which is a bit weird. Yeah, Danger Pops, Danger Peeps. So yeah, there's Danger Perps, Danger Noughts, Danger Ducks, Dangeringtons, Dangerists, Dangels, Troublemakers, Peril People, Close to the Edges, and a few others.
Close to the Edges.
Please do not Google either Close to the Edges or Danger Poppers. You will end up on a part of the dark web you don't want to.
So that was a Facebook group that we were, and most of them are all Drum. Drum was very active on wanting to come up with a name for everyone.
We talk about Alexa for a bit again. We've got a pun at 7 minutes. Scott dropped a pun 7 minutes in, and I even dropped the lobby music at this point because it was such a moment when none of us laughed. That I thought the comic timing of just dropping the music was just fantastic. Yeah. But we
should have put a little cricket in there, like just going.
Next time, Ross. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So we tie up the thug. We break his leg. Caragor breaks his leg.
Wow, you really buried the lead on breaking that thug. The poor thug. You really lowballed breaking the thug's leg.
I did lowball it, yeah, but we're 20 minutes into this,
poor
so
Pegleg Hamilton. Don't think you can get away with the horrible things you did to Pegleg by talking about audio for 20 minutes and then glossing straight over it. You tortured a man near to death.
We did. It was quite horrible.
No reason.
It was like that point. I was like, wow, we broke this guy's legs beyond repair and left him there.
No need for it as well.
Yeah. Did we string him up?
Yeah,
that's coming. That's coming.
Okay.
Don't worry. Yeah, that's coming. So
I wish Scott was here because I'd be like, what? Caragor literally just breaks this guy's legs.
It was a great joke as well. It was worth it.
It was
good. His leg break came from a random name generator because it was before we had Dangerlings to give us names. So I was like just Googling like random. I had a random henchman name generator or something just on the side because I knew there was going to be a lot of these people. At some point, you'd ask their names, and so I literally just clicked it, and it was like it's Pegleg Hamilton, and a minute later, he's got no kneecaps. It's like, oh no! What if he was called like Cuddle Me Hernandez? He'd have been fine,
Yeah.
Also, like, there's a mechanical thing on it as well because I start like all of my notes for this episode are just different versions of like. I'm getting a bit worried for the guys now. Like, there's so many bits where I'm just getting concerned because at the start of it, it's like you've just taken down this warehouse like a SWAT team, and you've taken everyone out. You completely neutralized it. You haven't made too much of a ruckus, and it's probably fine. I'm thinking as a GM at that point, I'm like, okay, so the guys in the basement, they caught the guy who was running to raise the alarm. So the guys in the basement probably aren't totally prepared for them yet. So they may catch some of them sleeping when they go downstairs. They might just be all right. At which point you shatter someone's leg and then just start hanging him from the ceiling while he's just dangling there screaming. And I'm just like, well, guess the alarm's raised now.
Yeah, it was pretty dark. So we tie up a thug and break his leg.
Yeah, it's fine.
Philippe's still eating the face of the guy. I love that moment. He's just still chewing on it. Kimith is trying to flee, but misses him. We have a reference to "Stuck in the Middle with You," which is a song from. I can't remember who it's by, but it's in Reservoir Dogs. I mean, we could do a deep dive on it, but we're 23 minutes in. We need to move along. So the Fulton runs after him, but he disappears. Then we have a Community reference, which we've talked about before. If you've not seen Community, it's very, very good. We're all making jokes at the same time because we're not wearing headphones. Everyone's talking at the same time. We've got 4 jokes happening at the same time. I don't know why I'm having a go at you because we're all wearing headphones now. It doesn't matter. But past me is like, geez, get headphones on these people's heads. I tell you what, Dangerlings, some of the crew refused at first. They were like, I don't want to wear headphones. I don't want to wear them. And I had to insist. Anyway, there's a tip for you if you're starting to record podcasts, make people wear headphones. All right, then Shania is still a bear, and then she's a falcon. But the skulk has still disappeared. We can't find him. Fulton starts smashing up a room, which is brilliant. I love that idea. And then you have this idea, don't you, Ross, about you should have this service that you can just go in and smash up a room. Like you pay a bit of money and you can just smash a room up. Like Phil.
Yeah, and there are actually businesses, but like you can do that.
Oh, can you?
Yeah. You can go to like a room and like they give you a baseball bat and you just smash the crap out of stuff.
Sounds great.
So yeah. I mean, I don't know what they're called. I guess like anger rooms or something or other. But yeah,
I mean,
you can
they're
go
not
in there
called
and just
what Fulton wanted to call them. That's the key point.
What did Fulton want to call them? I forgot. I can't remember.
Fulton wanted to call them Fulton's Fuck Room.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't think that would catch on in the real world. Maybe people, they would definitely get different clientele if they were, if Fulton actually had that. But yeah, there are places you can actually do that.
Isn't there a place that I think I've seen it in a documentary? There's a place, maybe in America, maybe it's this country, I'm not sure, but you can go and like smash up a car. They give you a baseball bat, and you can just go and like break all the windscreens.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's quite hard I think it's quite hard to smash through a windscreen, so it takes you quite a long time. It's not like the Michael Jackson video where he just goes, oh, and it all smashes. It's not like, you know what I mean?
That's a good reference. I mean,
yeah, right. That was pretty off the dome there.
Off the wall?
Yeah. I'll say. Yeah. Anyway, we're going really deep dive here.
Yeah.
We went to about 3 different things. Yeah, so I think you can do that. There might be a place where you can go and shoot up a car as well. I don't know.
That sounds
There's
safe.
probably places you can do that. Yeah. That's my shooting. That's my dad's shooting car. That's a reference to The Simpsons. Anyway, let's move on. Kara threatens the thug. Kara threatens the thug, and Shania finds a trap door. Cop gets referenced again. Shania hangs Pegleg up. Here we are. We've broken his legs, and now we hang him by his hands. This is horrible. This is really dark, man. So M stays upstairs by himself like an idiot. What was I thinking?
I could not believe how much you were splitting the party at this point. Where once the alarm was raised, I was like, okay, this is going to be a tough fight. And then everyone's just like, it's Velda that starts it. Velda's like, no, I think it's very important that we both go in separate doors at the same time. And then it's like, okay, but I'm going to stay up the top. It's just like, oh, no.
Stupid. Like I could have, well, you know, M could have died a lot earlier. Like really silly doing that at that point. They do the whole clearing rooms, you know, the kicking through the doors and they're going clear. They do some trap checking and Caragor starts kicking in the doors. Velda hears something. Fulton takes a peg for some reason. They see a few doors. Cop. They clear the rooms. Velda finds a bedroom with some bones. Another smash, and we have some message business where Velda's messaging Caragor. We love message, don't we? We've had a few gags from message.
Favorite spell in role-playing games.
But Velda's going back and forth with Caragor, going, oh, this, and Caragor's just going, oh, he's just talking to me in my head. It's like, Caragor, that was your reply. Yeah, it's brilliant.
It is, message is such a good comical tool in any
so
D&D
much fun.
Or
you have to break the rules on it to make it work because it's meant to have line of sight. It's not a phone. The idea is you can talk across a battlefield at somebody is sort of the idea of it. So you have to remove that element, but the balancing thing has to be, but understand it will never be useful. Like it will always be stupid, and that's great.
So we have a Stand By Your Fulton, which is a song, I think Tammy Wynette, Stand By Your Man. Didn't deep dive on this, but lovely song. M is on his own. He sees Kymeth sitting. Just going to slit Pegleg's throat. So he tries to kick the dagger out of his hand. But he goes down. M goes down at one point, but successes in kicking the knife out of his hand. Then Kymeth tries to disarm M, slashes him. So M's like in a really bad way. And then he shouts out, I'm very badly hurt, which is an Austin Powers reference. I'm very badly hurt.
Love that.
Yeah, so good. That's Will Ferrell in that film, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah. It's Will Ferrell.
Yeah. Will Ferrell like falls down a cliff and does that. It's very good.
Nice.
And then Velda takes a hit and is down to 1 point. M's down to 1 point. Velda's down to 1 point. 2 more thugs arrive. We're all in a really bad way. There's thugs and there's skulks everywhere. And then the episode ends.
Cliffhanger.
It's such a big episode at the end like that.
I was
Loved
so
it.
nervous. I was just like going into next episode, just like, oh my God, what is going to happen?
Yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it, when you get those points where it's such a good like time to end it and do that. Those I've found out with DMing as well. Like when you get to that point where you're like, oh, I could end this right now, and then everyone goes, oh, like that. Those are really good moments in games where you can do that.
Didn't you think
they're great for? It's I think we've talked before about how you end a session in sort of podcasting versus gaming. And it's like in podcasting, you always want to end on a cliffhanger because that's what will make people tune in next week, and you want to like, oh my god. Whereas like in gaming, if it was a normal session, you probably wouldn't end it on exactly that point, because you'll come back a week later and everyone will be like, okay, where was I? How many hit points have I got? Did I confirm that crit? What have I, there's just too many numbers there. Really, if it's a game thing, you want to end it on something to think. You end it just before going down into the basement, so everyone can basically spend the week planning the raid on the basement, or you give them a bit of information to discuss in between, and so people can be thinking about stuff rather than having to be remembering numbers.
I like doing it just before or just after a roll, like someone does a persuasion roll, and then the NPC looks and is thinking about it, and then you end it there. You don't know whether you succeeded or failed in it. I like doing it on those kind of rolls. They're quite good.
Just a little bit behind the scenes as well, Dangerlings, and this was quite a recent event. What you should do is you should work on some hand signals if you want to end an episode at a certain time, and someone's the timekeeper, someone's sort of ending, like rounding off the episode. You want some good hand signals that everyone knows, because in my mind, and this was quite recent, this was like 5 episodes ago when we were recording, in my mind, I thought that I'd told everyone that when I did a certain hand signal to wrap it up. Dan thought that I was saying, give me more. So...
And we were like well over the time, and like Colin's like doing the like gesturing really dramatically, and Dan's like, okay, all right, well, okay.
I was furious. I was really pissed off because we were like... Because it had been a bit of a muckabout episode, and I'm like, I'd fucking tell me to get to the point. Muck it, all right, fucking fine. Have some more plot. Here you go, have some more plot. And I'd forgotten I hadn't turned the egg timer over until like 10 minutes in, so we were actually well over time.
I can't remember what episode it is, but
we're at 50 minutes. What the fuck are you hurrying me up for? Like, come on.
I'm like, we're an hour and 10, Dan. Come on. In my mind, it was so funny.
We were getting exposition from the guy from the Pathfinder Society.
That's right, yeah. So, and you can hear it in the episode. We could have ended the episode about 10 times, and I'm frantically just trying to go, Dan, come on, and he's going, all right, I'll give you some more then. So yeah, work on some hand signals if you start a podcast. Really funny though. Really funny episode. I loved it.
It was fun.
We're all still friends.
Do you want a bit of trivia to wrap this one up on?
Go on, because we didn't say the name. The name of this episode was called Basement Instinct. It was released on the 23rd of the 9th, 2018. We had music from Kev. We had Sword Coast Soundscapes and Ross Bajon. So yeah, Dan, what was the Basic Instinct reference?
So Basement Instinct, obviously based on the 1992 neo-noir erotic thriller Basic Instinct, which I haven't seen, but I have looked up the Wikipedia page and found some things on it. And the interesting thing I like about Basic Instinct on this one, I can tell you it is the 4th highest grossing movie of 1992. Wow. Can you tell me what the other 3 movies are?
Now,
1992.
I would like to say... This year was 1992, so that was Jurassic Park has got to be in there.
Jurassic Park is not in there.
What?
Park is not 92.
Is it 93? Bollocks.
93.
All right.
The Mask.
The Mask, not in there.
Okay, I can do this. 1992.
Is it a big blockbuster?
Oh yeah, you will have. Obviously, you'll have heard of all 3 of them. But yeah, we will. I'll give you a heads up. The number 1 is a children's movie or a family movie.
Labyrinth.
No.
Earlier than that.
Labyrinth was never
the 80s, bro. A children's, like a family movie. It's got to be maybe Home Alone 2.
Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, starring Macaulay Culkin and Donald Trump. Future President Donald Trump is number 3.
Oh, okay. All right. There's one. There you go.
Oh God. What came out near at the same time as Home Alone 2?
Yeah. See that Piers Morgan recently had to deny that he was the pigeon lady from Home Alone 2 because someone put a picture of the two of them side by side. So number two has a very famous soundtrack. It's I guess a thriller maybe. Number 1 is a family movie.
Very famous soundtrack. So it's either Reservoir Dogs.
It's not Reservoir Dogs.
It will be Pulp Fiction.
It is not Pulp Fiction.
That's 1994. Yeah, I was going to say. Very famous.
Thriller.
It's not what Thriller. The feature length music video of the song Thriller.
Yeah.
A very famous soundtrack.
It has one very famous song from it.
Back to the Future.
No.
No,
Part 2.
no.
No. Number 3 came out in like 91 or something.
I don't know.
No, go on, tell us, Dan.
All
Pull us,
All right,
pull us out.
number 2 is The Bodyguard,
Of course.
Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
And number 1 that year is Disney's Aladdin.
Disney's Aladdin.
One jump, hit the bread line.
Some great songs. Some
Great songs, yeah. And some good work by Robin Williams on that. Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
my goodness, great film. Let's not get into a deep dive on Aladdin because that'll keep us, because we're almost sticking to time.
Yeah.
And there's so much to talk about with Robin Williams.
Team, thank you so much for joining. Dangerlings, it's been really good to have you along this Danger Recall episode. This is part 15. We talked about episode 17. We hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. We hope our guests enjoyed it. Ross, did you enjoy it?
No. I did. I'm joking.
Such a neg, man. Such a neg. And Dan, did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it more than Pegleg Hamilton enjoyed it, you horrible people.
Thank you for coming along, Dangerlings. Again, reach out to us on the Discord. If you need to talk to someone, we're always here. Danger Club for life, yo. I don't know where that was coming from, but thank you very much for joining us. Bye.
Bye.
Dangerlings.